Hello there, welcome to my channel. My name is Mandy Tardif. Today we are doing a Valentine's Day inspired body painting. How in the world is this a Valentine's Day body painting? Well, I'm going to explain that in a moment. So maybe you've heard of a Japanese art form called Kintsugi. Kintsugi is an ancient Japanese technique where broken pottery is repaired with gold. While I'm painting this Kintsugi technique on my body, I want to talk about something even deeper here because Valentine's Day isn't just about hearts and flowers and candy. It's about so much more than that. To me, it's about love in its truest form. Back in about 2020, I asked God, please show me what true love is. And holy cow, I have come to learn what real love is. It's not necessarily the Hollywood love that we hear. It's not even really a feeling. It's about action. It's about forgiving. It's about mercy. It's about sacrifice. So I wanted to do a Valentine's Day body painting off of this technique because I feel like this technique really explains so much about love. So Kintsugi literally means the golden journey. So as you can see, I have painted some golden cracks in my face, kind of like I am a piece of pottery. I don't know about you, but I have lots of cracks. I've made a lot of mistakes. I feel like I have so many weaknesses, and I have been such a perfectionist my whole life and thought that I was supposed to reach some nirvana and get to some place in my personal growth journey and my recovery journey in 12 step where I'm perfect, where I just get to this place where I graduate. And I don't know about you, but I have never been able to achieve this place of complete peace. In fact, I always end up feeling like I have days where I just completely feel like I'm a failure, or I don't even know where I'm going, or I'm 48 years old and I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. So what I've come to learn is that really this whole entire human thing is all about a journey, right? It's about the journey and not the destination. If we could just begin to love our cracks, to love our weaknesses, to love those places about ourselves that we sometimes feel so frustrated about. So when I was thinking about doing a Valentine's Day body painting, I didn't want to just do hearts on my face. So I asked GPT chat where Valentine's Day came from and basically the history of it, if you don't know, because I didn't know. So Saint Valentine was a priest, possibly a bishop, who lived in 3rd century Rome during the reign of Emperor Claudius II. They actually nicknamed this emperor Claudia the Cruel. Saint Valentine was a priest, and he was marrying couples in secret because this emperor passed this law that they were not allowed to have marriages because he knew that if a man was single and not in love with a woman, then he'd be more apt to go off to war and fight, and be willing to die. However, if a man had a wife, then he would be less apt to want to leave his wife, his family, his children to go off and sacrifice his life for the war. So the emperor outlawed marriages for men. But this priest or bishop, St. Valentine, said, oh, no, no, no. He really believed in the sacrament of marriage. And so he was secretly marrying people. He wanted to protect the right to love and to commit to somebody despite what this emperor was saying. As ChatGPT told me, St. Valentine actually got arrested for doing this. And the legend has it that while he was in prison, he healed the blind daughter of his jailer and sent her a letter signed from your Valentine. I don't know if this is real, but it says that legend has it that a Japanese shogun sent a damaged tea bowl to China for repairs, only to receive it back with unsightly metal staples. Dissatisfied with the crude fix, he commissioned a Japanese craftsman to find a more aesthetically pleasing solution. So this person responded by filling the cracks with lacquer and dusting them with gold, creating a piece that was not only functional, but even more beautiful than before. This practice evolved into what's now called Kintsugi, which teaches that brokenness is not something to hide, but rather a part of an object's history that can be honored and even enhanced. So this makes me think of Jesus. So whether you believe Jesus rose from the dead or not, when Jesus rose from the dead, he still had the holes in his wrists and in his ankles where he was nailed to the cross. That to me is a beautiful example of this. Brokenness is not something to hide, but rather a part of the history of that person, right? We have scars. Maybe you have scars on your body. When I look at my tattoos, there are some of them that I'm like, you know what? I'd rather I didn't get that tattoo. too, but when I look at it, it's part of my history. It tells me the story of my life and the choices that I made. And it's not something for me to regret or wish to shut the door on, but something to embrace and to really think of it as all of those things make me me, and to think about them all kind of covered in gold. So in many ways, Kintsugi mirrors that of the self-worth, self-love journey, in my opinion. Just as pottery can be carefully mended with gold, our emotional wounds, our traumas can be transformed into something even more beautiful when we embrace them rather than trying to conceal them. If we're trying to push something away, right? They say whatever resists will persist. Instead of trying to push them away or pretend they never happened or try to erase them, when we actually embrace our weaknesses and accept. For me, when I finally came to an acceptance that I was an alcoholic, I came to an acceptance that I had a love addiction, that I had food addiction. So when I accepted it as a beautiful, broken part of me, the gold all came in and my life started to just take on this whole entire new adventure. God came in and just gave me a whole entire new life. So these cracks right here represent food addiction and love addiction and alcoholism and all the mistakes that I've made. I get to love myself through my history of where I have been growing, and God just continues to fill in all of those cracks in me with gold, and he does the same thing with you. We can emerge through life's trials with deeper character and an undeniable glow. Our scars are gilded in gold, proof that we are not only whole, but we are extraordinary. So where in your life are you trying to be perfect? Where are you trying to hide your scars? Where are you trying to put on some kind of a front that you're perfect and that you think that you need to present yourself in a certain way in order to be loved or accepted? Instead, what if you just didn't do that? What if you just accepted who you are? Now, this obviously does not excuse bad behavior whatsoever. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about accepting yourself, accepting that, maybe you're someone who just constantly feels like you struggle with anxiety or self-doubt or confidence. Like, where can you just say, God, this is something I struggle with. Can your power please rest on me, God? I thank you that your power can rest on my weakness. And I am actually going to boast in my weakness, because wherever I am weak, God, there you are strong. It is not weakness to admit defeat. It's not weakness to admit that you're powerless. It's not weakness to admit that you don't know something. It actually shows a lot of courage and humility to admit that you aren't perfect, but that you just keep trying and just saying, God, I need your help. I need your supernatural help. Please, God, come down on me and fill these cracks with gold. Show me that I can embrace all parts of me. And you're not just accepted if you are perfect. This is something that we learned when we were younger, that conditional love, but God says it's unconditional love. God says, I see your weaknesses and I love you. Let me fill in your cracks. He wants to take you into a place that's so much better, where you can look at yourself in the mirror, cracks and all, and you can see where God has filled in those cracks, those imperfections, those mistakes, those flaws with gold, because God has done that. And this is just an outward representation of that kind of love that we can feel for ourselves, for others, and for God. This moment is beautiful, cracks and all. So thank you so much for joining me today for this body painting, this Valentine's Day body painting. I'd love to hear from you. Please drop a comment on how this touched your heart. I do have a bunch of things to look at in the description box below. I have this amazing 31-day coloring devotional. I also have a little free coloring book for you too. There are 5 pages in this coloring book. You can download it for free. It's awesome. I actually hand drew these coloring pages. You can print them off in black and white. You can color them with your family or with your kids. I also have coloring pages that you can purchase, and those are also hand drawn by me as well. You could also join my Patreon community, where I upload a ton of information. I write articles, kind of like a blog in there. There's tutorials. There's so many face and body painting tutorials, and there's challenges. There's creativity challenges, all kinds of stuff. And I go live every now and again to show you some body painting techniques, and there's just a whole lot of art, and I'm doing a lot more stuff as well. So thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.